What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, Memorial Day, May 29th, 2023. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you. Even on holidays, we don't mess around here. We take this job seriously. It's not a job, actually. It's a pleasure, my treasure. What's up? How's everybody doing out there? What are you doing for Memorial Day? You watching Indy 500? You grilling in the pool? Not grilling in the pool, but are you in the pool near a grill? Are you in a pond? Near a pond, pool or a pond? Pond would be good for you. All right, enough stupid shit. So today, hop in the chat. Appreciate you guys. As always, click the join button to join the TBC Friends membership. You get a ton of recruiting, free t-shirt from the BuckeyeCast.com, videos just for members only, recruiting live streams, ton of great stuff in there for you. So click the join button. And today we're going to get right into it. So as you hop in, hit me with your questions. If you got any that come to mind, I imagine it's probably going to be a little bit of a light crowd. I might actually just be talking to myself today. So great. Now I got to come up with all the content. That's what I do though, right? So today we're talking about the position group rankings for the Buckeyes, all their position groups, where they rank. On3 just released their rankings of, they did like top 10 at each position. And we're going to go through each one. And I'm going to tell you what I think of this guy's On3, which is a terrible name. On3, who says that? Anyway, so let's run through it. I'm going to start off with the quarterbacks. I think the guy that did this is named Jesse Simonton. Never heard of this guy. Is he a real person? That sounds made up. Jesse Simonton Villington. Anyway, so let's see where the Buckeyes are ranked, and I'll tell you where they should be ranked. Right off the bat here, this first one is this fucking slap in the face, kicking the balls. Quarterbacks, he does not have him in his top 10. Obviously, Jesse is I must see it guy, you know. If I don't witness it with my own two eyes, it can't be true. So you should realize there's a 5-star and a very high 4-star in that room, and another 4-star just got there, and a sixth or seventh year guy. So McCord and Devin Brown, that doesn't get into your top 10. I don't get that. So here's who's in his top 10 at quarterback. USC, of course, Heisman Trophy winner, but did not even make it to the playoffs. Lincoln Riley, you know, everything he touches at the quarterback position turns to gold, right? Allegedly. So LSU is up next. I got a problem with that. Brian Kelly, how many great quarterbacks has he cranked out? Jaden Daniels is Garrett Nussmeier. Those are your options. Get the fuck out of here. But Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, no, not better. Texas, he has number 3. Okay, Quinn Ewers, we'll see. He hasn't even actually taken the starting job yet. They haven't announced him as a starter, even though he played most of the season last year. They got Malik Murphy. He's looking really good in spring ball. Then you got Arch Manning, just got on campus this summer. So, all right. North Carolina coming in at 4. I like Drake May. He's good. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see how this year pans out. I'm always concerned about guys in the second full year as a starter, because teams get tape on them. You know, defenses that they go against get tape on a guy. They can see his tendencies, what he likes to do, and defend it accordingly. You know, so this one blows my mind. Oklahoma at 5 with former UCF transfer Dylan Gabriel, and then they have the 5-star freshman Jackson Arnold. Those two guys are better than Kyle and Devin. Get the fuck out of here, man. Jesus, I'm sorry to cuss so much on a fucking holiday, but you got to be kidding. Then they got Georgia, Oregon, Tennessee, UCLA, Ole Miss. Again, Georgia. We have not seen any of these guys play. Carson Beck, Brock Vandegrift, Gunnar Stockton. They sound like actors' names. Oregon with Bo Nix. Are you kidding me? Oh, jeez. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Tennessee, no. With Joe Milton, no thanks. UCLA has 3 quarterbacks competing for their starting job. No. You can't take the eye test, and I need to see it with my own eyes, unless you're going to apply it across the board. And he did not in this quarterback ranking. It's a fucking joke, honestly. All right. Well, so let's move to running backs. So where would we place the Ohio State quarterbacks in that top 10? I would go top 5, definitely in front of Oklahoma, maybe behind North Carolina, just because we haven't seen Kyle and Devin in game action really, but definitely better than Dylan Gabriel, for Christ's sake. Yeah, I'll put Buckeye quarterbacks at 5 there. I got no problem with that. Billy, I see you, Cowtown Customs. Appreciate you from Coshocton. Billy says, don't understand how you can put Ewers so high. He folded a lot under pressure last year. Yeah, he didn't even finish that Alabama game, did he? And again, he's battling with a second-year guy, for the starting job. He hasn't even been given that job yet. Really frustrating. So I'll put the Buckeyes at 5 at quarterback. And that's being, generous to this ranking without totally dismissing it. So let's move on to running backs. On 3 has the Buckeye running backs ranked number 4 in the country. Okay, that's respectable. I don't have much of a problem with that. So who's in front of them? You got number 1, Michigan. Obviously, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards. That's a pretty good duo. Edwards both of them almost went for 1,000 yards. Edwards had 900, I think, and Blake Corum had 1,500 almost. So that's a pretty lethal combination in the backfield. So I'll give them number 1, no problem. Alabama coming in at number 2. So again, they've got multiple backs. Ton of stud recruits that are just stacked on top of one another here. So they're going to go back to pounding the ball, pounding the rock. They're kind of past the Bryce Young days of just run around back there and find somebody open. Now they're going back to hammering the ball. You got Jace McClellan, Justice Haynes, Buckeyes are well aware of him. Roydell Williams, Jam Miller, Jam. As in jelly, and then Richard Young. Buckeyes are well aware of him too. Lost out on 2 of those guys. So loaded with 5 stars. And so I got no problem with Bama at number 2. Penn State, number 3. So they got two guys that could go over 1,000 yards apiece in 2023. Nick Singleton, the 5-star, and then Katron Allen. Both those guys are really freaking good. Katron had almost 1,000 yards, 900. He had 900 last year, almost 10 touchdowns. So yeah, I got no problem with that. But Buckeyes come in here at number 4. You got Mayan, Travion, Dallin Hayden, Chip, as the break in case of emergency, break glass, So Henderson had his 1,200-yard season 2 years ago as a freshman. So can he get back to that form? I think he can. And then Mayan is no joke either. I don't know if these 2 guys can go for 1,000 yards each, but I think they can combine for close to $2,000. So whether that's 1,200 and 800, something like that, that's probably what it'll look like. So let's go back here to let's go next to wide receivers. Check the comments. No comments yet. Okay. Wide receivers, they got Buckeyes number 1. This shouldn't be a freaking question. Let's see who's behind the Buckeyes. Yeah, Texas coming in at number 2. Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, the transfer from Georgia. We're well aware of him. Then Jordan Whittington. Those three guys look good. And then they've got quality backups with Isaiah Nayer, who is a transfer, and then the 5-star Jonte Cook II. So those guys would probably start at most schools. You got LSU. I don't know. Malik Neighbors led the SEC in receiving last year. All right. But then you got a bunch of other guys, Brian Thomas, Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton. They got an Alabama transfer, Aaron Anderson. So I don't know if I'd put them up at number 3. Washington 4, USC 5. So yeah, Georgia 6. I don't know about that. I don't know if their receivers are that great, especially in that offense. Tennessee, Texas A&M, Arizona. So that's the rest of the top 10. Let's go to tight ends. They got the Buckeyes at number 7. Got Cade Stover. Then you got some loaded high-end backups behind him and guys that will play in like 12 personnel and stuff with 2 tight ends. G. Scott Jr., Joe Royer. Royer is going to be your next man in, I think. He's got the size, athleticism to move dudes off the line and get out into the field and run some good routes and catch the ball. Then don't forget about Jelani Thurman, the 4-star recruit. I know he's a true freshman, but he came in early in January. He actually, you might not know this, he practiced with the team during bowl practice in Atlanta. He was allowed to do that because he was already enrolled by then. So he's been with the team going on, by the time the season rolls around, about 9 months. So that's huge. And his athleticism is unmatched in that tight end room. So I like Buckeyes at number 7, but I don't have a huge problem with it. Definitely should be top 10. There's no doubt about that. So offensive line, they didn't have the Ohio State offensive line ranked in their top 10. I don't know. I guess that's fair, but you got Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Notre Dame 3, LSU 4, Texas 5, Bama 6, Utah 7. Utah, that's surprising. USC 8, that's surprising as well. Florida State 9, and K-State 10. That second half, that second 5 is a little surprising after Alabama. So yeah, Buckeyes, we lost 3 good ones, 3 starters last year. So now we got to go out there and prove ourselves on the field. So let's see this time next year if we're not in that top 10, Daniel Henry, what's up, man? Henry, he says Travion Henderson is about to remind college football why he had the hype as a true freshman. I agree. 5-star talent. We saw it on the field, running, catching, just blowing people away down the field, breaking off 70-yarders. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think Travion is about to go off big time. Billy Tuesday says, didn't know that about Jelani. He should get some serious time this year. Yeah, I agree. After having 9 months in the winter workouts, in the weight room, and then through spring ball, all of that, now through summer conditioning and then fall camp, you keep stacking that stuff, man. That's a lot of experience for a guy that has a lot of freaky athleticism. Let's look here at let's go to D-line. They got Ohio State at 10 here. Now, I think that seems like a slap in the face. Georgia number 1, of course. Their D-line is one of the best in the country. Michigan number 2, though. See, they lost Mazzie Smith and Mike Morris to the NFL. So you got Chris Jenkins, Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham. I don't know. And they got some edge guys here. Jalen Harrell, I haven't heard of him. Derek Moore. So we'll see about that. I don't know about number 2. Number 2 seems a little bit aggressive for me. Illinois at number 3 is very aggressive. They were one of the best defenses in the country last year. They had a loaded secondary. So their D-line is supposed to be really good. They got what On3 says is the best 1-2 interior tandem at nose tackle and D tackle. Jerzon Newton and Keith Randolph. Okay. I've never heard of them. Penn State, number 4. You got their D-line, Chop Robinson, Adisa Isaac, and you got some fifth-year seniors, Devon Ellies and Hakeem Beeman on the inside. Then they got some depth guys. So they're respectable. I got no problem with Penn State being right there. Bama 5. I'm surprised they're not higher, of course. LSU 6. See, LSU is getting a lot of love in these freaking rankings. And I don't see it. I'm going to have to see this shit on the field to believe it. I know they were in the SEC championship game last year, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Iowa at 7. That doesn't surprise me. Florida State, again, in the top 10 here at 8. Clemson 9. They always have a good D line, but they lost a couple first round picks: Miles Murphy, Brian Breezy, whatever. But they're reloading. That's what they do. But Buckeyes at 10 with 2 5-stars on the end. You got Jack Sawyer going back to D end where he's comfortable. JT on the other side. And then Mike Hall in the middle. And don't forget about Ty Hamilton, those guys all rotating in the interior. Then behind them, you got depth with Kenyatta and Amari Abor. So Buckeyes should be much higher than 10. Definitely in front of fucking Florida State, maybe even LSU. So I would put the Buckeyes at like 6. That's just my opinion. What's next here? Linebackers, I'm guessing. Yeah. Linebackers, I got the Buckeyes at 7. Whoa, wrong one. Clicked on the wrong link. Buckeyes at 7 here. Tommy Eichenberg had the 4th most tackles of any linebacker in the Power 5 last year, 120. And Steel Chambers is back as the 2nd leading tackler on the team. So he had a couple picks, pass breakups. He had the interception against Georgia in the bowl game. So, and the depth, we know the depth. Cody Simon, CJ Hicks. So I don't know. I think you got 2 potential, one All-American for sure with Tommy, and possibly another with Steele as he continues to improve and get comfortable in the defense. So where are the Buckeyes at here? 7. Number 1 is Clemson. They lost a linebacker to the NFL, though. Jeremiah Trotter is back. Barrett Carter. So those guys are real good. Georgia, number 2, of course, not surprising. You could go, then Penn State is 3. Okay, Abdul Carter, Micah, he was reminded people of Micah Parsons. I don't know. It seems like a pretty lofty comparison. Michigan at 4. I'll believe that when I see it. I don't. Michael Barrett, Junior Colson, and a Nebraska transfer, Ernest Hausman. That doesn't impress me at all. LSU at 5. Nobody there that really, they are returning a junior, Greg Penn, sophomore, West Weeks. They got a transfer from Oregon State. Really? Harold Perkins Jr., they don't know where they're going to play him. So 6 is North Carolina. I don't agree with that whatsoever. So 7, Buckeyes are behind North Carolina. No, I put the Buckeyes up at 6 with 2 potential All-Americans. Get the hell out of here. Let's go cornerbacks. Oh, let me check the comments, see what's happening. What do you guys got for me? Daniel Henry, Kenyatta Jackson is about to be a breakout player. JTT and Jack would love to see them elevate in their development. Yes, I think you're going to see that Daniel. Very much. Jack is going to be back to his old form, comfortable, with his hand in the dirt, coming off the edge, screaming with his hair on fire. So I look for him and JT to meet at the quarterback, and then Kenyatta and Amari Abor backing them up, rotating in when they can get a blow. Daniel said LSU lost to A&M last year, right? Getting way too much hype. I agree 100%. You just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, and Billy followed that up, betting on BK to regress to the norm. Exactly. So let's look at these corner rankings real quick. What do we got here? Alabama #1. Ooh, Buckeyes at 8. Good God, that is atrocious. Alabama #1. You got the man, the Kool-Aid man, the former 5-star Kool-Aid McKinstry. Then you got another former 5-star, Terrion Arnold. Of course, you have 2 5-stars at corner. Then you got a ton of depth behind them. Terrion Arnold, I just mentioned him. Earl Little Jr., Trey Amos, Des Ricks, some other guys. Anyway, Georgia #2. Yeah, of course, Bama and Georgia are at the top of the corners rankings. Kamari Lassiter, Jr., and possibly like fringe-ish first-round pick. Then you got Dalen Everett, Julian Humphrey, Nyland Green battling for that other corner spot, and a 4-star freshman, A.J. Harris. Buckeyes were after him. Don't forget about Jaheim Singletary, transferred out of there. He went to Arkansas this offseason, the 5-star, former Buckeye target as well. Now, you got Iowa here at 3. I don't know about that. Iowa has the 3rd best corners in the country. You can't convince me of that. Cooper DeJean, Gray Poupon. He was all Big Ten last year. He is ranked #1 nationally. I don't know in what. He had 75 tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 pick sixes. Okay, that's good. He had more touchdowns than Iowa's entire receiving room combined. That's disgusting. But they don't have any depth, man. They got Cooper DeJean and Jamari Harris. He's back after missing the entire 22 season. After that, what do you got? You got Phil Parker's scheme. That's what makes them good. Next up, 4 is Michigan. You got the 5-star Will Johnson, obviously coming back. Then you got they lost DJ Turner to the league. Then you got sophomore Amarion Walker, and then he struggled in Michigan's spring game apparently. And then you got a bunch of dudes. I don't know. Sandstrill, is he back? Yeah, Sandstrill's back, but he was a slot, a nickel. So I don't know what Michigan has there as far as depth at corner. I don't think they earned a 4 spot. Penn State 5th. You lost Joey Porter Jr. You got Kalen King coming back. He led the Big Ten with 21 passes knocked down. That's a lot. And then you got Johnny Dixon, not to be confused with the former Buckeye. He played both corner and nickel the past few years. So then they got a senior that can play nickel as well. So we'll see. Oh, check this out. Then back in December, Penn State added from the transfer portal a dude named Storm Duck from UNC. Storm Duck. Awesome. Because of course you did. Why didn't he go to Oregon? I just missed out on a big NIL opportunity there. Notre Dame #6. I don't get that. You have a former blue chip guy as that Benjamin Morrison, tied for 2nd in the country with 6 picks. Okay. You got a 5th-year senior coming back. You got another senior. I don't see it. TCU, same here at #7. You got the Thorpe Award winner. Okay. Not sure he earned that. Travius Hodges Tomlinson must be LaDainian's kid, right? I assume. Then you got Josh Newton. He was the first team Big 12 honoree. And then you got some you got a transfer coming in from Florida, and you got a few other JUCOs that transferred in. But Buckeyes at 8 is way too damn low, man. Denzel Burke, he's in year 3. He's going to be a first-round draft pick, no doubt about it. Barring injury, he is coming in with a different mindset. He knows this is a contract year. 6'1", 190 pounds, perfect size for a corner. He's got the length and the poundage that you need. Then Jordan Hancock. Let's pump brakes on Hancock. I want to see what Igbinosun can do. And what kind of rotation we're going to run here with Tim Walton. But Jordan Hancock, I think, could have a great year and be a breakout player. Again, year 3 for him too. So has dealt with injuries. We know that last year, but this could be 2 first-rounders starting for this Buckeye corner room. Just my opinion. So then we know you got Igbinosun, Jair Brown. Jair's getting better. Then at your slot corner, you got Jahad Carter, Cam Martinez, those guys. So we'll see. Cam Martinez, this is year 4 for him. We need to see something. It's taken a while for him to develop. So let's see what happens there. Give me a few more minutes here. Let me check the comments. Daniel says the safety's getting cooked to end last year. We'll probably have Ohio State DB room down in the rankings. Yeah, I understand that. They were schemed up, honestly. The talent is there for Ohio State in the DB room. Just have to put it on the field, says Daniel. And Billy says the same. Talent is there on all 3 levels. It's up to Knowles. Exactly. Do we do safeties? Let's quickly do safeties. Buckeyes number 7. You got senior Lathan Ransom coming back. And then you got 50-year guy Josh Proctor. Then you got the 5-star stud, 6'4", 225-pounder Sonny Styles. How are they going to work him in? Is he just going to be in on those big packages to cover a tight end? What else is going to happen? Like I mentioned, you got the other safeties that transferred in. So what are we going to do here? What are we going to see? I don't know about 7. 7 seems low. I think we got more talent than that. And like the cornerback spot, I think it's a little low. I think they should be up a notch or 2. So ton of talent and difference makers. So they just gotta prove it on the field. We need to see it, right? I mean, so what do you guys think? Overall, seems like Ohio State kind of got jobbed on most of those categories, except for receivers and maybe running backs. But defensively, I think you're going to see a very different defense. Like I've talked about on the daily blitzes, I don't see how this isn't a top 5 defense. Got to improve in some defensive categories, some stat categories that I talked about, but it's there, it's doable, it's possible. And we just, like I talked about, I've got an episode coming out with the Daily Blitz where I talk about how exactly Jim Knowles is going to improve this defense. And it's mostly techniques and details. So, and teaching to the tape of last year. So he has all this tape from last year on the guys that returned. He can show them, okay, on this play, you were lined up properly. You took the right assignment. You made the play. Now on this exact same play later in the game or in a different game, you missed this assignment. Exact same formation, exact same call on defense, and you fucked it up. So he has this tape. He can show these guys, this is where we got to improve the details, techniques. That's the focus of Daily Blitz. I think that's tomorrow's. So keep an eye out for that. Hope everybody has a good rest of their Memorial Day. Be safe out there. It's pretty nuts around here. But 5 o'clock. Hope you guys have a good one. I hope you checked out the live show last night, Sunday night. Me and Sean went at it. We're never going to agree on anything, I don't think. Although Sean does admit that Kyle McCord should be the starter. if you catch him here and there. But he usually likes to argue with me. He's a huge into arguing for some reason. I'd hate to be his wife. But thank you, Billy. I appreciate it. Good work by you, Billy. Showing up every day. You're on every show. You're on more of these shows than Jeff and Sean. But I appreciate all you guys. Have a good rest of the holiday and have a good week. I'll talk to you Wednesday. I have the Daily Blitz out tomorrow, but we'll be back here at the Rush Hour, 4:30 Eastern, Wednesday. I'll talk to you then. Go Bucks.